Hello, good evening, and welcome to Follow Everton. This is the Tuesday Night Blues on a Monday. Evening, Wes.
Evening, Rob.
Tuesday Night Blues on a Monday. So people are going, what's all that about? Well, we were going to do a stream tomorrow, Tuesday, but apparently there's been a bit of news today, my friend. Would you like to tell us all about it?
Well, once again, I just want to get this out first, that Robster,
Go on, mate. Go
that
for it.
this is not we hate Nottingham Forest stream, right?
No.
I hope that Nottingham Forest do well, stay up, right? This could be any team that we could be talking about here, right? But the fact that Forest have got 4 points deduction for a breach which was more than ours, just you try telling me that there's not a conspiracy going on to send Everton down, mate. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
absolutely livid.
Yeah, I'm laughing like you're telling jokes there on the other end, and I'm watching a stand-up comedian because this just gets better and better, or worse and worse, depending on which way you're looking at it. Mate, you've got to laugh because it'll send your blood pressure through the roof. Well, just out of interest, and you're right. This is not a let's all Dis not Forest. It's clearly something that's happened today. It's been coming. I think even Forest fans would go, "What for? Wow!"
Got off lightly there. Got
I've
off.
I've I've been on the social media today, and I don't know if we'll be joined by some Forest fans, but I've put the invite out there if they'd like to join us. Then they're more than welcome. And if you would like, lovely to see you all, by the way. I can see the numbers going up and up and up, which is great. And it's not just a Wes and Robby live stream tonight at 9 o'clock after we've probably finished, or I don't know if it's going to be a 2 hour stream, not sure. But then we're joined with Chad, Jan, and Aussie Chris from 9 o'clock onwards. So tonight's the night. If you're a bit bored this Monday evening, and if you'd like to have a phone in, we will certainly speak with you. So,
Really will.
Wes,
Well,
you're sitting there in your house coat, mate, with your pipe and your slippers. What is it? Look at that. Look at that, boys and
look at
girls.
it.
Look at
Whoosh.
that. So, Wes has got his new house coat on. I've got my new retro top on tonight when we used to win things. You remember
Lovely
this,
that.
Wes?
I remember it
You
well, the
remember this,
Robster.
mate?
I
You remember
remember
it?
it very well. But
As
you know
though it was
what?
yesterday. As though it was
Well,
yesterday.
I wish it was just yesterday. You know what though, Rob, right? Just going into this, back into this 4 points for Forest, right? Is that the Premier League for Everton created a formula, right? Which they handed to the independent panel. The independent panel said, "Oh, hang on a minute, we're an independent panel. We don't want no formula. We make up our own rules as we go along, our own punishments, right?" And then gave us 10 points, right? Now the formula for that, what the Premier League made up was initial 5 point deduction for a breach, and then 1 point per 5 mil overspend, right? So if you look at Not Forest case, right, they've their independent commission has started off at 3 points for a breach, right? So they've had just short of a £35 million overspend, right? So if you take into account that 35 million per point, that's 7 points. So effectively, they should have had a 10 point deduction, Rob.
Yeah. And again, we're not dissing you as an individual, as a Forest fan. We're talking about
No,
it collectively for
yeah,
this
for
this Willy
anybody,
Wonka, this Willy Wonka made up formula that Richard Small Club made up. Just while our numbers are going up and up and up as we're talking to you, I don't know if you're watching on X or whatever, but can you please at some point switch over to YouTube, possibly, and join us on the stream so
And
that you
subscribe.
are like an official member and subscribe, because the numbers help the channel. So thanks for that. But the numbers, mate, look at them numbers going up, 8,900 already.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like myself, like, my blood's absolutely boiling, Rob. It really is.
Mate,
I can't. Like, when I go out in the taxi in the morning, mate, everybody's getting it. Every single man, woman, dog, budgie,
wax on,
they're
Danielson,
all
wax
getting it.
on, wax off, wax
Because
on, Danielson.
it just beggars belief, though, Rob. It really does.
Wes, well, I know you're on one. I don't mean to cut across you, but Barry, are you one of our new guys? Nice to see you. I don't think I've seen your name before, but have a little read of that, Wes. What do our punters think about that one? Is that inside info, is it? Or is that just something that you believe in? Or obviously we put it up there, Barry, because I don't think I've ever seen. Have you seen him before, Wes?
I haven't seen Barry before, no, but
nice to see you, mate.
Barry, nice to have you on, mate.
Yeah.
But do you know what, like, Rob, this 4 points, what they've come up with is based on them spending 1 year in the Premier League. And Forest's arguments, and they're probably going to appeal it, by the way.
Well, they've cited us in their appeal anyway, haven't they? In their defence mitigation.
They've got every right to turn around and appeal it like every other club has, you know what I mean? But I think they should be sort of like got off lightly there. But if they want to appeal it, that's entirely down to them. But it's just like they could only spend 61 million, right? And some of their mitigating circumstances was because they sold Brennan Johnson after the accounting period, right, to get more money for him, right? So, which took them over profit and sustainability rules. But like the guy at Talk Sport said, well, the Premier League is just going to come back with the argument was that, well, you didn't have to buy 22 players. You didn't have to continue buying players.
They actually bought 46 players.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what's funny, right? They're actually using the term sporting advantage. They bought 46 players and they're still shite.
No. Yeah, but
I mean, it's laughable,
not much better. We're not much better.
Oh, we'll talk about us in a minute, mate. We'll talk about us in a minute. It's kind of, do you know, as I said before, Wes, the stress levels with our punters who are listening now all around the world and in the UK, we're gonna be just thinking, aren't we? Is you know what's the next stitch up? What is the next stitch up for us? If we get nothing on the next one, and that's the way that we should get nothing, just a little slap on the wrist or a 50 bob fine for Mashiri to put his hand in his pocket, I'll have it. But if that individual and the Premier League and the cronies think they're going to come back and do it twice, mate, there's got to be. I mean, what are we going to do? What can we do?
Yeah, we can't do anything. I mean, do you know what? I can't disagree with that comment. Forest are a decoy, and maybe it looks even more and more suspect the fact that they won us relegated. Now, you know, all these pundits on radio stations and whatnot can all sit there and say, what advantage would the Premier League gain by sending Everton down? And you're like, when you think about it, you think, well, you don't know, but there's got to be a reason behind it, hasn't he? There's got to be.
Yeah, but obviously he called us a small club, didn't he? When he had his little meeting when Caroline Downage said to him, basically, you don't know what you're doing. That's exactly what she said to him. Now we're a small club. I think we're big enough for him to smash us and do whatever he wants with us, so that he can prove his point on his CV and go, look what we did. We can keep our own house in order. So for them, we're a small club, but we're big enough to be able to just keep down and like basically, kiss me shoes type of thing.
Yeah. So
What's the name? Interesting one before there, buddy. I've not seen Robbie's name come up before, and Robbie, it's a good point that you make there, mate. And you're right. It shouldn't be the law courts, and football should be settled on the pitch. And that's where we come back to our team, mate. Let's just
yeah,
bring. If this isn't the Notts Forest stream, it's like we're talking about it because it's real. It's true. It's happened a couple of hours ago. But football should be settled on a pitch. And that's something that we've not been doing for quite a long time, Wes.
yeah,
We've got 10 cup finals left, mate. 10 games left to basically sort ourselves out.
yeah. I mean,
What's your thoughts?
the thing is, I think you're looking at if you're the manager, you're looking at the fixtures. You're thinking, we've got that Forest, we've got Brentford, we've got Burnley, we've got Sheffield United, we've got Luton. You're looking at them fixtures as your points, your potential points. The other fixtures like the Liverpools and the Arsenals, maybe the Newcastles. I think we've got Chelsea as well. You're probably looking at them thinking that they're free hits, but the games that you've got to win are the ones that it seems around you. So they're probably looking at them more than the other fixtures, if you know what I mean. But I just can't get my mind off this 4 points, mate. I really can't. It's like some of the reasoning behind the independent commission coming to its decision to give them 4 points was because allegedly they said Everton didn't divulge the information last season, which is why it went into this season. So we withheld some information or gave incorrect information or something like that, because if it had been done last season, now I was always under the understanding that they couldn't do it last season because it was too late on the season, because it was such a long and protracted, sort of process, that it was going to take too long for it to be dealt with last season. So that's why they've done it this season. But now when you look into the ins and outs of it, this independent commission that's dealt with Forest have said that we gave incorrect information last season to stop us going down last season. But because Forest have complied and sort of gone along with everything the Premier League have asked them to do, they've got a reduced sentence. But we thought that was the case for us, didn't we? That we'd agreed, we sort of held our hands up and gone, yeah, it's a fair cop, governor.
Yeah, and we were totally exonerated for the supposed lies that we told, that we hadn't told lies. So
Yeah.
that was one of the ones that the new committee said, no, they completely worked with you. So we're a little bit lost on that one, friend, aren't we? But what a great point Emma makes. I mean, without you boys and girls out there coming up with some of the comments, it then takes us down another little path, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
it's a fair point. The matches are decided at Stockley Park, and the league positions in his office. I can't even say his surname. I just find it absolutely despicable.
Yeah. Well, like I said though, Rob, right? If our starting point was 5 points for a breach, just for a single breach, right? Then obviously the different independent commissions come up with different rules and stuff like that. So this is where the grey area is. It's like if you breached, if there's a starting point where to go, then you can work off that. Do you know what I mean? You don't work off different platforms. You like if ours was 5 and theirs was 3, straight away they've gained the 2 point advantage. haven't they? For any team, not just Forest, any team that's breached, if they, like someone could get done next season, could be Chelsea get done next season, and their starting point might be 1 point or 6 points. I mean, there should be a starting point, and then you go forward from there. So I really don't understand. Like I said, our starting point was 5 points according to the. All right, Mabsy.
All right, lads. Sorry, just jumping on. I'm just.
I hope that's Mabsy. I hope that's a proper cigarette there, mate. That was a lot of smoke.
No, it's a vape. I am absolutely. I'm just outside saying to me, he's Prescott Road, just waiting for the bird to get a few things. I'm just watching your stream and I had to come on. I am absolutely fucking livid.
Go on, then.
Honestly, the cheeky bastard.
Tell us how you feel.
I will do. I'm not bothered. You know what I mean? I'll get
go on.
by Ryan, but you know, it is
do
what
it
is. I'm just like, honestly, I just can't believe that. I know everyone is just feeling it, and I'm just like, what the fuck? What the actual? Sorry, but you know what I'm saying, right? So, how on earth did I get 4 points for being open and honest when we were the ones? We went to the Premier League. We said to them, look, we work with the Premier League. Yeah, how the hell we weren't honest is ridiculous. And you're telling me right now that this league's not corrupt. You know what I mean? It is. They want us gone. They want us gone. There's no other way to describe it than they want us gone.
Can't disagree with you, Mabsy. I don't think any Evertonian out there now after today can disagree with the fact that there's definitely a conspiracy going on. But like I was just saying, Mabsy, right? Our starting point for our breach was 5 points, right? And then it was a point for every 5 mil over and above the spending cap, right? So Forest spent 35 million pounds above the spending cap, right? So that should be 7 points in my reckoning. They start off with 3, and then for every point, every 5 mil over the spend, which is 35 mil, it's a point. So that's another 7 points. That takes them up to 10 points. So how have they come to 4? Just because they sort of went along with the process.
Well, they worked with it, but they're also appealing it. So you're like, well, hang on. Well, what's that about? You know what I mean? Absolutely right. So we spent 19.5 million, right? Yeah, on improving this wonderful city, trying to regenerate a city, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely bollocks. It was crap accounting. Yeah, they changed the rules halfway through, right? They changed the rules halfway through, right? So we didn't spend it on players. They spent it all on players, and they get less points. So they had more of a sporting advantage than what we've ever done. And I think what you were saying was they sold someone, didn't they? But
Brendan Johnson.
They bought 3 less players because he was just buying everyone, right?
Yeah.
You know, well then they would have been under it. We even sold Charlton as on the cheap because Tottenham had our pants down with it, right?
Yeah.
And we still got done, and we're going to get done for the same thing. Where's the sense of justice?
Well, there's
it's blatant.
Well, there's Wadge's got a comment in here, right?
Wadge, I think Wadge is new. I think Wadge is new, isn't he?
Yeah, I've never seen Wadge before. Welcome to the stream, Wadge. Wish we'd have held on to Richie for another 20 million, and we would have received 4 points.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But that, and also we had the other objection, Sigurdsson, who turned out to be completely. You know, we lost money on that. You know, we could have sold him for like 20 million. You know, something.
But they never took any.
It just boils my piss. It boils
my piss.
Never took any
of that. They never took any of that into consideration, though. But for if Forest appeal and it'd be based on the Brennan Johnson sale. The fact that they held out for more money, which they will argue that was, you know, in line with, you know, profit and sustainability rules, as they wanted to get more money into the club for them. So, you know, we could have done that.
We do the right thing, Wes, and we get fucked for it. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Funny how both players went to Spurs as well, isn't it? Brennan Johnson and Richie.
Yeah. But there was another. I was watching another talk sport. Someone that he had rang in before, Forest fan on Talksport, and said, how can Man United be £750 million in debt, right? In debt, but yet there's nothing's happened to them, not even questions. And I know it's all about money coming into the club, but the £750 million in debt.
I don't believe. So this amazing clear. Any Forest fan watching, right? Any Forest fan watching, I don't believe that anyone should have got a points deduction. I don't believe that for a second. However, what my point being is, it's absolutely wrong for us to be getting 10 down to 6 and then getting a 4-point deduction over us. And I'm sorry I feel for Forest fans to do. Don't get me wrong, but it's not fair on us.
No, I've said it all along, Mabsy, right? Is that I feel for Forest, right? Because all they've done is they've come up from the Championship, and they've tried to basically buy a squad to keep them in the Premier League.
Yeah.
They've got a very wealthy owner who was willing to splash the cash to keep them in the league, which it did, right? Yeah. But now, if they hadn't gone out and bought that team, they'd have probably gone straight back down.
Totally. Yeah. Their only crime. Let's not get this wrong. Their only crime was trying to compete. Let's not get that. Let's be wrong with Forest that they were trying to compete.
How dare you? How dare Aston Villa try and break into the top 4? How dare you try and compete and spoil our conglomerate, our cartel?
No.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It is. Totally.
It doesn't bode well, really, does it, for when Man City get charged?
They'll get off of it because they're the elite, aren't they? So the elite won't get. They'll get a minimal points deduction again, or they'll get swept under the carpet or forgotten about or whatever. Something will, or they'll find out. They'll twist it so because they won't lose the revenue from City. Not stupid. They won't lose Haaland, or he won't be playing in the Championship, will he? They don't.
Well, everybody thought that the Premier League had set a precedent by giving us 4 points back off a 10-point deduction, right? And the precedent now was 6 points for a breach.
Minimum. Yeah, that's what they said in the appeals.
So in the Premier League's response to our appeal, they said that a 6-point deduction is fair for a breach of profit and sustainability rules in their eyes. That was in response to our appeal and the 6 points, right? And that was the sort of the set in stone kind of thing of what it should be in the future. But then this independent commission
should have put an. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. I'm really sorry. I'm just so livid at the moment. You know what? You should have put an asterisk there instead for Everton only, because that's what it is. Minimum for Everton. Everyone else do what they fucking want.
Yeah, I think everybody
getting
back to the points where Mabsy. I mean,
back to the point.
Getting back to the points, or getting back to the point as well. If we don't do it on the pitch between now and the end of the season, we're goosed anyway. So we might as well got a 20 or 30 points. It's still in our own hands, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, it is still in our own hands, Robbie. Yeah, absolutely. Until 8th of April, which is my fucking birthday, right? And the cunts are going to ruin that, guaranteed, by giving us another point deduction. For might I add, the same crime. What? Where does that help? And what war on land can you get done twice for the same crime?
Yeah, you don't, though, do you?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
In any walk of life, if you're a scumbag, you commit a murder or whatever, you don't get done for it again. It's wrong. The whole thing stinks. It's absolutely vile what they're doing to us. Right.
So we're going to be doing a stream on your birthday, yeah?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, right, I'm switching my phone off on the 8th because I'm not having my birthday bloody ruined by Richard Masters and his gang of twats.
I genuinely believe, I really do in my bones, because I've got to, is that we won't get another points deduction.
Well, but you know what, Robbie? We've been saying this. Well, we won't get a points deduction in the first place. We'll just get a fine, and everyone. I believed it. then it was like, well, we got the deduction. We came out of it. Oh, well, it's fine. We'll get the 10 points back on appeal. And then it goes, oh, it's fine. Forest to get the same amount of points. They get cheated the same as us. And then we're like, well, they won't surely do us again. Yes, they will. I guarantee they will, honestly.
Yeah.
We will get done again.
Thing is, Mabsy, right?
I'll have a wager with you.
Let's get one thing straight here, right? Is that Forest, from the very first, independent commission breach that they've had, got 4 points, right? We got 10.
Yeah.
Right? We haven't got 6 points. We got a 10-point deduction.
Correct.
For a £19 million overspend, right?
And
they've overspent they've overspent by £35 million and got a 4-point deduction.
Yeah.
People seem to be getting a bit confused about this. We haven't had a 6-point deduction. We got a 10-point deduction with 4 points back on appeal.
Totally. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's where you have to put things into perspective when you've got, like I say, it just happens to be Forest. It could be any team in the league, but it's Forest, and they've got a 4-point deduction.
You know what?
So am I right in thinking, boys? Am I right in thinking all the decisions won't be made until after the season's finished?
Yeah, so I think the appeal is going to be, after the last game.
Yeah.
After the last game, so once it's all played, you think you're safe. It's like VAR, isn't it? Let's be fucking honest, right? let's not, VAR decision. I mean, it's just a total minefield, and at least no room to take it further. If I was Everton, and the Everton boys should be doing this right now, I don't think they will, because it's just Everton and they just don't work like this. I would be taking this to the arbitration of sport right this second, the court for arbitration for sport, right now, and honestly, just say we've been treated massively, grossly unfairly. Honestly.
Do you think that switched on? I mean, you'd like to think that they are.
They're not. They're the absolute dickheads who run our club. And who's running the club at the moment? Because no one knows. No one's come out with. There's no chairman. Mashiri's, I don't know where Mashiri is. So who's actually running this club? Who's making the decisions to do this?
On a daily basis, is it Mr. Chong, is it?
Colin
Chong.
He was meant to be staying development, so God knows.
I know, but did they give him everything?
As well.
He makes the tea on the match day as well. He literally was given everything, wasn't he? It was just, it's painful. Everything about the club is painful, apart from Bramley Murdoch.
Yeah.
I totally, you know what, right? I was joking with you guys on the WhatsApp, on Saturday. Everton, fucking brilliant. How bliss has it been? Everton not spoiling your weekend. And then Monday, bam, right straight at it. Bam. And then apparently this week as well, we've got the double whammy of the 777, whether it's going to be approved or not.
Well, listen, friends, if they wanted to see us off, if Mr. Richard Small Club wanted to see us off, he'd let them take over, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but then he could potentially put us at risk. Don't let us take over. So double-edged sword. He wins anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, does win. He does win. Like
the businessman.
The thing is, right? I've sent a message before on the group chat saying he must when that 4 points got deducted off Forest, he must have been sitting in his little office in Premier League HQ going, "Oh no, what have they done? What have they done? They've just opened another can of worms," because it has, hasn't it? Whichever way you look at it, it's opened another can of worms by them not giving them the equivalent of what we got. They've opened another can of worms, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah.
You're not telling me, Wes. You're not telling me that he didn't know that they were going to get 4 points, and this conversation was had last week.
No, I would imagine he has, but you know, if you believe that the independent commission is fully independent, then he'd have only learned at the
Having a
same
laugh.
time as well. No,
Nah, bollocks.
they only learned at the same time the
Nah.
club learned. It's true.
No, I'd like to believe it's true. You're not telling me
Nah,
someone hasn't
bollocks.
phoned
Don't
him and
believe that for a
tipped him
second.
off. Wes, honestly, I would love to believe what you're saying, but I just, you see it in politics, you see it in industry, you see it in management, whatever. It's, you know, someone's making a phone call because someone's made a complaint about
Yeah,
someone else and whatever.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but by the letter of the law that they go by,
You're right.
the Premier League and the football club both get told the punishments together at the same time, simultaneously.
Me and Rob,
So-
though, especially, that does never fucking happens. Don't Rob,
yeah.
you want me on that one?
But behind the scenes, you know, in many guises over a period of 30, 35 plus years, I kind of, I want to, I genuinely want to believe what Wes is saying, because that is the right way that it should be done. But
No.
and morally, it's the right way.
In your experience, Robert, you know that's it's never done like that.
No, there's always a tip off.
Of course
That's
there
just
is.
fact.
Of course there is. Right.
But for him to allow the tip off, he's allowed the tip off, which is, as what Wes is saying, he's allowed them to go with 4, which has opened the can of worms for him again. Because for me,
guaranteed he signed that off.
Yeah, but he looks even more of a divvy.
But also, it was all leaked in the papers. Like Mabsy put it up on the group chat, leaked in the papers, leaked on Sky Sports before the Premier League or Nottingham Forest came out and made a statement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not just like 10 minutes, or it was like over an hour.
An hour, yeah, it was.
Here's one for you, boys. Here's one for you. You know when Everton got docked their 10 points, yeah, and you looked at the Premier League table. How long did it take for them points to come off?
Straight away.
Did you look at the table today to see how long it took for their Forest?
Because
I don't even know it's been.
Yeah, I looked and I sent you the screenshot and it hadn't been taken off. It took him ages.
Yeah, just
and
wait.
Also, the final point before I go, because sorry to interrupt your stream, guys. I do apologize.
All right, friends, great.
Have you noticed though? They also released the minutes straight away of the Nottingham Forest. Straight away, they put minutes out. We haven't yet received minutes from our fair 10-point deduction. Never mind the 6th one.
Yeah.
Ours won't come out.
Yeah, exactly. And why?
Yeah.
So why is Forest getting the minutes and ours won't?
Because it's probably been done. They probably learned from the kangaroo court with us what they have to do this time, and so they've kind of done it the way they should have done.
Then that's fine. Release the minutes from ours. Both hearings. Release the minutes then.
Yeah, but they won't because it was done rather
behind closed doors, backhanders, and all that. Right, I'm gonna have to shoot, guys, but have a good rest of your stream, okay?
Yeah, enjoy your shopping.
I'll try not to end it like you usually do. Right, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mabsy, this is the man that shops at Sainsbury's because he's got loads of dosh.
Loads of money.
So welcome back to the channel again, and the numbers, Wes, are going through the roof. If you're watching on X, can you switch over to YouTube and join us and hit the like and subscribe button and get these numbers up of all these beautiful people that watch us on the stream, because tonight you're going to be in for a treat. You've got Wes and I until 8:45, and then you've got Jan and Chris and Aussie Chris, I should say, and Chad, who are our new boys over in the America. So we're through till probably about 11 o'clock tonight, talking about Everton and probably Notts Forest as well. If there are any Notts Forest fans out there that you want to join the stream, come on and tell us your thoughts. And if there's anyone out there that wants to come on and make some points, join us on a phone in. Do you want to put the link up there, Wes?
There we go. As you speak, mate.
Look at that.
That's
what you call teamwork.
Yeah.
You want to come and join us? Come and have a
And
chat. We've got a lot of new people on tonight, and the numbers just keep going up and up and up. Currently, I'm just looking there, mate, just touching 48,000 from around the globe, which is like OMG. That's the biggest numbers we've had, Wes,
I can feel the fume.
mate. So
And that
we haven't had anyone
we don't
from.
want any. We don't want no dodgy ones coming on here. Stephen Hawkins, mate. Do we not tonight?
If any Stephen Hawkins ones comes on tonight, and we think you're taking the phonetic alphabet, Papa, India, Sierra, Sierra, then we will deal with you robustly. Oh yes, we will find out where you are. And just like those dodgy sticks, mate, did you see within the last couple of days somebody out of all of those millions of people in the United Kingdom watching football on dodgy sticks, one person was arrested. Oh boy, was there a great story in all the press? One
person.
But
you know what? You wouldn't catch me watching them dodgy streams, mate.
It's a start because we recommend everyone should be buying for thousands of pounds a Sky membership, because particularly if you're an Everton fan, because they've supported Everton through thick and thin. Remember that.
Yeah. Have we got anybody that wants to come on and have a fume? Just press that copy that stream link into your browser and come on and have a chat. You don't have to be on camera. You can block your camera off.
Oh, do we have someone?
Yeah, there we go. Here's Peter. All right, Peter. Nice to see you, mate.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, lads.
Are you on a high, Peter, or are you on a low?
It kind of depends.
Well, mate, if you're on a low, talking to Hinge and Bracketeer, we hope that when you do go, you'll be on a high. So come on, get it off one's chest.
I'll probably be on a high later tonight when I'm watching. I don't know if you'd call a classic gangster movie from the 80s like something to put you on a high, but you get what you take what you want to get, don't you? Like
go on, friend.
You just take anything.
What do you want to chat about?
Yeah, I mean, Forest getting a points deduction. Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of sensed it was coming with all that was being talked about with them. I'm not quite as shocked about how they've been deducted 4 and while we were deducted 10, because I think it's that 60 million thing over the course of a year, 2 years, was it? Something like that. I think that's why they've obviously decided to give them 4-point deduction rather than 10-point like they did to us. But as for where we stand, I don't think we will get deducted even 4 points. I think if we do get a points deduction, we'll get deducted probably half what Forest have been deducted, because I've got a feeling. Yeah, I've got a feeling that our mitigating circumstances for this next case, which is obviously a bit further down the line than the previous one, I think our mitigating circumstances, a case for them, is actually stronger. And I think that might actually come into play for the next charge, which is why I don't think we will get deducted as many points as Forest were. But having said that, I agreed with what Wes said a second ago. No one should be getting deducted points at all. Points deduction is too harsh a punishment for an FFP breach, in my opinion. It doesn't matter which club you're at. I wouldn't even care if it was the Big Six. I wouldn't lay a points deduction on them for breaching FFP. If I was to give them any punishment for an FFP breach, it would either be one of these two things. It would either be a transfer embargo for a season, 2 seasons, whatever fits, or it would be a player reduction. So you register what? You have to register 25 players, is it? Is it 25 or is it 26 players you have to register?
I'm not sure.
think
I know it's more than 22.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it could be 25 or possibly 23, something like that.
Well, basically, a player reduction means you get a couple of those players off the register as a result, as a punishment. And I think that seems like a bit more of a fair punishment because it doesn't alter anything to do with, the system of, the league or anything. It doesn't alter any points, any games, any fixtures. It doesn't alter any of that stuff. It just basically says, you can't use these players. You can't go and sign these players. It's that simple. If I was to say a club deserves a points deduction, I would have to say that the only reason I would want to see a club deducted any points would be if, say, you put those sanctions on a club, a transfer embargo or a player reduction, and they then breach that that sanction, because that would be a serious crime. That would be them saying, to hell with your system, we'll do what we want, and you can't allow that. So you have to take firmer action, and that would probably be fair enough. If you want to give a points deduction to a team that's basically saying no to your sanctions, that's fair enough. But
Basically, that's what Chelsea's been doing, isn't it? Basically, Chelsea just going out spending money like it's going out of fashion, and basically putting two fingers up to the rules.
But they have made profits on homegrown players, though, Wes, to try and get their way around it.
They've spent £1 billion in 3 transfer windows, and they've recouped something like 300 million, 250 million or something.
So they're 3 times over the line.
Yeah, but the chances are that they're going to be in breach next season. But then the rules are changing, aren't they, Peter? So
yeah, that's where it's bent. Honestly, that just shows how bent it is. I mean, you have to admit, like, let me be honest here. I've heard about what you've been saying about that fat fucker Richard Masters, but if I'm being honest, lads, I have to be honest. I don't think corruption sums him up. I genuinely don't think he is smart enough to actually recognize what he's doing wrong. I think he is so unbelievably stupid that he actually doesn't seem to know what he's taking backlash for. He actually looks at what he's done and he thinks, nothing wrong with it.
Do you think after today, do you think that they are out to get us relegated?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Because let me be honest, mate. The point of there's an agenda against
hang
Everton.
On, before you go on with that, I just got a follow up to that. What reason do you think that they want us relegated? Why would they want us relegated? Because we're all scratching our heads as to what we've done so bad that they want us out the league.
Your guess is as good as mine, Wes. I think it could be something to do with either. It could be something to do with they want this. Either they want this sort of rivalry between Man United and Liverpool, and they want to cut us out of the picture. It could be because we've not really, as we're one of the biggest clubs in the country, maybe it's to do with the fact that, I mean, and you know what? This is probably the reason we haven't won anything for so long, is because we haven't really updated our club like all the others have. And they're probably like, either update or fuck off. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. But, because like, what's like, I do hate the fact that we haven't updated, but for what reason do we have to be punished? But in all fairness, there's been the case for an agenda against Everton, as I was about to say. You could say that as far back as 85, when we got punished for the Heysel disaster and we didn't have anything to do with it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, Liverpool fans murderers like most people would say, but I will say that a minority of their fan base did commit a crime that day. They should have gone to jail. But in all fairness, I can't understand how you punish every other English club for the crimes of a tiny minority of one fan base. Well,
I mean, the thing is, I mean, I don't want to go into historical stuff, Peter, but it wasn't just that one occasion. It'd been going on for years with British English fans going abroad, and hooliganism was rife back in the 80s. You know what I mean? So it wasn't just Liverpool back in them days, Peter. So that was just the tipping point.
Another example you could use. Another example you could use is Pierluigi Collina, whatever his name is, when he kicked us out of the Champions League in that Villarreal game. Yeah. I honestly don't, to this day I have not forgiven him for that, because like I was watching. I was in primary school with all them red shites laughing at me for them winning the Champions League in that fucking time, and I was literally like, "Here's our chance to be in the Champions League," and I was so pissed off. I was actually among some of those fans who basically left him a note saying, "We know where you live, you bald-headed fucker." No offense, lads.
But the thing was,
Peter, what year were you born?
97.
97.
So I haven't seen us win a trophy.
Yeah, you haven't seen. I mean, mate, that is so sad. We talk about this all the time, Wes and I, don't we? You and people on our channel. All you've seen is just a bit of mediocrity, maybe a little bit average, and you've not been entertained, which is, mate, it's so sad.
Not been entertained is probably a bit strong. I mean, my first ever Everton game was a cracker. I mean, how many young Everton fans can say that their first ever game where they went to Goodison was remember the name Wayne Rooney? That was my first ever game. Yeah, I actually watched that goal go in.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better that you feel like you're being entertained. But on a friend, from me to you, on a low level, that you've got to hang on to the fact that we had Wayne Rooney for a short time, and then he goes, and then all of a sudden it's like, like, okay, you might have been entertained when we had Lukaku, and he wasn't replaced neither. So it's quite sad when we've got this big divide, like you've got Hinge and Brackett here, and we've seen the good days. And then we've got someone like you, and you're in your 30s, and you've seen nothing.
Well, next year will be 30 years since 1995. So it'd be 30 years. So somebody that was born in 1995 will have never have seen Everton win anything, which is I mean, grim. So just go. Emma seems to think the reason why the Premier League won us relegates because we made such a fuss about the Super League. Now,
wasn't just us, though, was it?
I don't think that's
because the Premier League do not want to lose clubs to the Super League, so they were probably happy the fact that people kicked up fuss about it. But what they actually did about it by fining them $3.5 million or whatever was an absolute
they never
joke.
Paid.
That they haven't paid,
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's like, something that's been bothering me about our FFP charges as of late. I watched that the FA Cup game between Coventry and Wolves, Ellis Sims, and mate, I was livid because I actually looked at it and thought we got buttons for him when we could have sold Calvert-Lewin for 20 to 25 million at the time, which probably could have covered our FFP losses. And by looking at what I saw from Coventry, we'd have probably been left with the better striker of the two. And we could have actually covered our FFP losses with what we got for Calvert-Lewin if we sold him.
I get your point. A lot of Evertonians were saying the same thing after he started off very slow at Coventry, and it's only recently that he's picked up. He scored what, 8 goals in 5 games or something. He scored 2 hat-tricks in 4 games.
I think he's on 14. He's on 14 for the season.
Yeah, but it's all ifs, ands, and maybes, and it's all ifs, ands, and maybes. But I get what you're saying, Peter. But I posted in our group chat the other day that about what you're saying, and people saying, we're scoring goals at Championship level and blah blah. But the other day he came up against a Premier League team who were doing well in the Premier League, and yet he missed that sitter. But you could see what he was trying to do. He thought the keeper was going to dive across the goal, and he was going to put it back across the keeper. The keeper just happened to stick his foot out and wasn't as quick to get across. But he still kept going. He still scored 2 goals, and yet, in hindsight, with the way DCL's been this season, and they keep harping on about it, the fact that he scored 29 goals over 2 seasons. He's only scored 50 Premier League goals for Everton. So over 6 years, he scored 21 goals, which works out at 3.5 goals per season.
Yeah,
so Why do we keep relying on him? Why do we keep thinking he's the saviour?
I really couldn't answer that. Whereas, do you know what I think it might be to do with? I've said this before on the stream. I said this to Aussie Chris, actually. I think we operate, at least over the last couple of years, with a sort of characteristic that we seem to rely on our strikers having more physique than technique. And I feel like Calvert-Lewin kind of embodies that in a way, because he is a big lad, but so too is Sims. The only difference between Calvert-Lewin and Sims, though, which I think is a positive one in Sims's case, because I was watching him for Coventry the other day. Something he does that Calvert-Lewin never does, in my opinion, is he turns with the ball at his feet and he tries to take the man on and he runs at the opposition. He runs very direct. Calvert-Lewin, anytime he receives the ball, people say he holds it up well, but all I see him do is go backwards. And I can't stand when he does that. I hate when he goes backwards. I'm always looking at him 1v1 and going, just turn and take the man on. And as to the point about that sitter that Sims missed against Wolves, let's be honest, Calvert-Lewin's probably missed about 5 sitters similar to that this season for us in the Premier League. So there's really no difference between what you see from Sims in that sitter to what we're seeing from Calvert-Lewin and Beto. I mean, how many shots has Beto blasted over the bar? How many shots has DCL either pulled wide or hit straight at the keeper? The problem with the kid, I mean, there's probably a lack of creativity between Harrison and McNeil at the moment. But when Calvert-Lewin and Beto do get chances, what do they actually do? Because all I see them doing is blasting it over the bar or hitting it straight at the keeper or putting it wide. And it's like, what? Like, they just haven't got enough precision. They haven't got composure. Whereas I think Sims, on the other hand, does have composure. And I think you saw it in that game against Wolves where, there's probably an argument for the handball situation, but the second one and the third one, which he got an assist for, I mean, that was just brilliant football by Sims.
It was a great layoff.
And I just wish that he was in our team doing that, because I guarantee you now he would offer more in terms of goals than what Mopé is doing, even for Brentford as well as for us. He could offer more than Beto at this present moment in time, and he would offer more than Calvert-Lewin, because he actually has composure. I don't see a single striker in our team at this present time that has any composure. I could say that about Dobbin if I saw him, but Dyche doesn't want to play him for some reason. The same reason he probably doesn't want to play Patterson. The same reason he won't give Chimiti a chance from the bench. I mean, this is something that is really getting under my skin with Sean Dyche. And I'll be honest, mate, if we come back from this Portugal trip and we don't look any better than what we were producing prior to this Bournemouth game that's up and coming, I'm sorry, mate, but Dyche has got to go. And as to your answer, who replaces him, mate, I'm going to make a banner that I'll take to the next Everton game. And do you know what it's going to say? It's going to say anyone but Dyche. That's what it's going to say, mate.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like you going on about Calvert-Lewin and that, and you know, his hold up play, and all he does is pass it backwards. But that stems with, you know, that's confidence in the team. The confidence runs through the team when you're getting wins, and you look at all the players throughout the whole team, and every time they get the ball, it's like a hot potato, and they want to pass it off to somebody else so they can take responsibility for it. You know what I mean? So it's not just DCL. They're all culpable of doing that. You know what I mean? So, but you know what? Like I say, it's easier to say now and say Ellis Sims this and Ellis Sims that. But the fact is, he's gone. He probably wants to get games. He knew he wasn't going to get games at Everton. So he's gone to Coventry, and good luck to the lad, you know what I mean? We're stuck with what we've got for the time being. But my point is, I think going forward, even though Beto's getting chances and blasting them over the bar and stuff, I think there's a player in there, and I think he will come good. I think he's going to take a while to get used to the league, and maybe we can't afford him that, and that's why we were playing DCL. But now, obviously, he started the last 2 games, and I think the more game time he gets on the pitch, we'll benefit from that. Because if you look back at his goals for Udinese, he was running onto balls, and he was getting good service and getting headers in the 6-yard box. So there's definitely a player in there. I just don't think we play to his strengths.
Yeah, you may be right. But if I can just take this chance to respond to Bob Stevens' comment there. I'm sorry, mate. I respect that you have your own opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm afraid I can't agree, because my recollection was that Sims never got a chance. All I remember Dyche doing was playing Damari Gray out of position. The one game where he did play Sims,
Chelsea,
where he started him. He started him against the shite. I'm sorry, mate, but that's not that. Yeah, that you do not start. If you're going to play a youngster, you do not start him against them on their turf ever. Never do that.
I think that was because there was a lack of.
Scored against.
But there's a lack of options
against Chelsea, though.
In the derby, we didn't have a striker because we had to play Sims.
Yeah, but he took him off as well by half time. So I don't think he gets enough of a chance as a result. And it's the same with that Man United game, as Chris says. I'm sorry, but he took him off at half time, and he also kept playing Damari Gray out of position up front. The one game where he actually gave Sins a good opportunity, where he actually played him with Damari Gray, who at the time was our most creative player, who Dyche sold, by the way, and never replaced. He actually scored. So I think he was given an opportunity, took the opportunity, but then he never got handed another opportunity again. The argument I would make for Sims and why I think Dyche didn't particularly favour him was because he didn't press very much. But what do you want him to do? Do you want him to press, or do you want him to score goals? What's more important? What's going to win your games? In my opinion, goals are more important because they win your games. And you had Damari Gray, who was providing him with service. He was our most creative. And since he's gone, we haven't replaced him. And I think that's where our lack of creativity comes from. Because if Beto was playing with Damari Gray, as you said, Wes, I actually don't argue with your point about Beto. I think there is a player there, because one thing I've noticed in him that's actually different to DCL is he actually does turn and take the man on, because he's got a bit more aggression. He will actually go 1v1 with the defender and actually try and muscle him off. But just imagine if he was playing with Damari Gray instead of Dwight McNeil and Jack Harrison, because I think he would probably have a better chance of scoring with him in the team. But he's not been given that opportunity.
This was going to be my point, is to and I keep harping on about it, right? And Rob, I pretty much say it every stream, right? Is DCL is too nice. He's too nice a player. Beto, he is a nuisance for defenders, and yet his touch is not great at the minute, but he is strong, and he is fast, and he does occupy defenders. Whereas DCL doesn't do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just too nice, isn't he, Rob?
Yeah, he's a nice boy.
I would argue that Beto does have a better touch than Calvert-Lewin. I mean, his touch is a little bit heavy at times, but he traps the ball well when he's backing into defenders. I feel better than Calvert-Lewin does any, whether he's taking it on his chest or touching it down.
To get stuck under his feet too much for me.
Yeah, he does look like Bambi on ice. I will admit that. But when if he's 1v1 with a keeper, I'd like to see that. You know what I mean? I'd like to see him 1v1 with a keeper and just see if he can actually get guarded past the keeper on occasion. Because to be fair, that was how he scored against Newcastle, getting 1v1 with Nick Poop and basically slotting it past his near post. But I really have to admit, I'm kind of confused at times as to what Dyche really wants to play. For me, I can't really put my finger on what Dyche's plan is going into games, because he keeps picking Harrison, keeps picking McNeil. The two of them aren't offering enough in terms of service. You've got Beto.
What's the other options, though, Peter?
Well, you could play Dobbin. You could play Dobbin. You could play Danjuma. I know he's getting back from injury now. Will he be as good coming back from this injury? I really don't know.
The thing is, right, is that I'm going to play devil's advocate here, because I want to see a bit more of Dobbin, right? But people keep calling for Dobbin to play on the left, to play up front. Now you're saying to play on the right. So where would you see him at his best position?
I would say do you know what? We've been calling for two strikers. Why not have one who is technically more adept and the other who's more physique? If you play Beto and Dobbin, let's say Beto gets up and gets those flick-ons. He flicks it on with just Harrison and McNeil playing. No one's there. They don't run onto flick-ons. Could Dobbin do that? I think there's a chance he could, because he's got pace. and he's got a bit of technique. Like, there's not. I would take that opportunity and actually play Dobbin and Beto together, or Dobbin and Decore, and maybe just see if we can actually do something. Like, if you want to play route one, mate, go and get yourself a big striker player next to one who's got a bit more technique, no matter how big he is, and aim for you. You know, you've got Pickford playing route one. Pickford's distribution is supposed to be the best keeper distribution in the league. So get him playing long balls to someone like Beto and have them flicking on for Dobbin. You know, or better yet, just play out from the back, drop the midfield back a couple of yards and play out from the back a little bit more. And if the team press in numbers, then go route one. And if the team aren't pressing in numbers, play out from the back.
All right, Peter. We'll have to leave it there, Mason.
Nice one, Peter.
All right, mate.
Thank you for your points.
Again, Pete.
I don't like.
I
take a seat and I just like to listen when you're coming on. I like to give you the time to sort of make your point. So that's why I go a little bit quiet when we have our guests on. So we could absolutely. But you know what, friends, and he has made good points. And Peter is one of our number one people.
Diehards.
But what he is a diehard. But you know, when I was just thinking there, then it's kind of like we're talking about the past again. It's like I might give you a little chat about the shirt and the way it was on the night and the way we used to be. We've sold our assets. Ellis Sims, I think we sold him for. Well, I think he came and said we've sold him for 5. It could have well been less. And I know certain players from certain clubs across the park. One went to Sheffield United for nearly 25 million. And he'd just done exactly the same as Ellis Sims. And I just think our business plan, our business model is absolutely woeful.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we've let him go. Same with Tom Cannon.
Yeah.
Same with Tom Cannon. It's painful. What I said to Mabsy before, everything about the club for the last 30 odd years or whatever, apart from a little few runs here and there, it's been painful. Our business management it's non-existent.
Yeah, Dice said it, didn't he? We had to sell players, and we pretty much had to sell players for probably under market value.
Seriously, under market. But why do you have to sell it? Why do you have to? When you're selling, you're selling for under market. We basically. I'm saying we've been had off by Coventry because we were interested in their striker. No way was he coming to us. Because he clearly knew what was happening. But we've let one of our future prodigies go to Coventry for 5 million or less. So we've been had off by a championship club. And I'd like to say, like, why? How bad a way to let him go? I'm on one, but I need to calm down again.
Stu there, one of our regulars there, saying basically what we've just said. That if it hadn't been for the financial difficulties, I can't even say it. Financial difficulties, we wouldn't have sold Ellis Sims or Tom Cannon. Do you know what I mean? But,
I agree, but we've still given them away,
and we got ourselves into that mess, or our owner got us into that mess. You know what I mean? By just whittling away his money willy nilly. Do you know what I mean? And that's the unfortunate state that we're in now.
Well, do you know what? I hope Ellis Sims goes on to be a worldie and Coventry's selling for 20 odd million. I hope he's a superstar. Same with Tom Cannon as well, because we've been loyal to the ones who the manager believed would get us out the SHIT, and it clearly really hasn't worked.
No.
So, but listen, friends, we're up to the most people looking at our stream tonight, which is absolutely fantastic. So everyone, I do believe, is feeling the pain about Notts Forest 4 points and Everton's predicament. All I will say is, please, if you haven't already gone on to YouTube and join the stream so that you assist with our numbers, and the more numbers we get, then it just helps the stream. Thank you for that.
And the link's still there if anybody wants to come on and come and
have a chat. Come and talk to us. Come on. Engine bracket. We've got 25 minutes left before the next stream over in America starts, but that one's got Jan in it as well. So we've got Chris and Chad over in the States, joined by Jan in 25 minutes' time. So it's probably going to go until about 11 o'clock tonight if you haven't got work tomorrow. So give us a phone. Send us your
Come
comments.
on and vent. Come on and vent over the 4 points. So if you want to talk
Thanks for
about
that,
something
Bob.
else,
Thanks for that, Bob. So going to the free weekend this weekend, mate. So we've got no streams.
Yeah, can't wait for a stress-free weekend. I think actually this weekend just gone, I didn't actually get any more grey hairs. You know what I mean? So, and then and this weekend coming, before I know it, I'm gonna end up like Just for Men. Everyone will think I put Just for Men in, Rob.
Mate, you know, we talk about different things, don't we? What did you think about that VAR decision at the in the West Ham game? Went on for over 5 minutes. Did you see that one?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I don't really pay attention to it. When it's got no bearing on what's happening with us.
If you watch the rugby union, they're communicating, he's talking to the players. Listen, no, you need to move away there. Yeah, I'd like to see, did the ball drop down at that particular time? Thank you. Yeah, the ball dropped down. Thank you very much. Here's the decision.
Yeah.
We are so far. You know, the Premier League, mate, it's probably worth billions more than rugby, isn't it? And yet rugby is on another planet when it comes to, I use the word transparency.
Yeah. But Bob's made a point there. Is when we have to sell players, these players, it could be said, aren't played in whether Gray or Sims or Cannon. If Dice found a way for Gray, for example, like he likely stays. I think Damari Gray wants to go because he's seen the big pay packets in Saudi, didn't he?
Plus he had a fallout with Dicey anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
you have a fallout with the manager.
Peter obviously rates Damari Gray. I thought he was too lazy.
Hit and miss.
Yeah, he was very sort of, very hit and miss, and sort of like you never knew what you was going to get out of him. Started off, he wasn't as consistent.
He wasn't as consistent as me and you, mate, was he?
No, we are consistently shite.
Yeah, if you want to talk Sierra Hotel India Tango with Wes and me, give us a phone and you can come on the stream. We've got 23 minutes left before we leave you. In fact, we might even leave you before that. There you go.
If you come on and have a chat, you don't have to come on camera. Just block your camera and you can come in just on the mic and have a little chat if you want to vent about what's happened today. There's loads of yous watching, so I don't we're not going to come in and bite your hands off and have a go with you. Everyone gets their opinions voiced on here, so come on and speak to us.
Yeah, we'll let you have the floor. Amy, I was trying to find it before. Amy, who's our put that one on before. Just Amy's one of our VIP guests. I hope you're still with us tonight. And
hope
you're well, Amy. Before, and our Becky was here before as well. Where's Becky?
Yeah, Becky.
I'm trying to find them all, and we've got Emma on tonight, haven't we? So we've got a look at that. Is Becky a good judge of character or what? Handsome gents. Do you think that the Rob Stett and Wes are handsome? Come on,
you know what?
A vote.
I think Becky's got Becky's got a sight impediment.
But she's a VIP. She's a VIP on our channel.
She is a VIP.
So there you go. But it doesn't matter if you're a VIP or you've just joined us. You are more than welcome.
Here we go. Is Amy's still here? Look, Amy, you'll always have our support, my love, and good luck with that. Going to be going for the apprenticeship at the local hairdressers.
Unfortunately, mate, you won't be able to practice on Wes and I. Sorry about that.
No, it's all that is all my own work. Vidal Baboon. Yeah. Becky or Amy, jump on for a chat.
If you want to jump on for a chat, we've never had a young lady, a female, a woman on our chat yet, have we?
No, we haven't.
So
You
that
know,
would be a first.
we lost a lovely Amy in the group for follow Everton, and it's always nice to hear a female opinion of what's going on at the Blues, and also maybe what's going on at Forest. How you feel about it,
Mate? Well, we're on that subject. There's loads of the girls are the pundits now, aren't they? Or doing the commentary.
Yeah,
Have you seen some of the stuff Joey Barton's been saying?
I have indeed. Yeah, I have indeed. Look, Amy. This is what it's. We just come on here and talk garbage, love. You know what I mean? We don't know what we're talking about, really. We just talk absolute wham for about an hour.
Yeah, and we've got thousands of people listening because everyone. Do you know what I hope was? I hope that everyone who came on the stream that was like livid because of the points and Everton got more points than Forest or whatever. I hope you're all feeling, because we're all together and we're all part of the Brew family. I hope you all feel a little bit more relaxed. Are you, Wes? Because you came on, you were fuming.
I'm still fuming, Robbie. I'm just hiding it very well.
Are you not a little bit more relaxed?
No, Rob.
You've had time to sort of mellow, haven't you? Because you've been having
It says under my name there, absolutely fuming. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
So what?
Nice one, Bob.
I went to took me lads to Taekwondo before, and started talking about the footy again with one of the lads, one of the instructors in there, and so I had to just sort of say to him, look, let's stop talking about it before you kick me head in. You know what I mean? So I've come here, and don't get me wrong, Rob, right? It'll be mulling over in my head tonight when I go to bed. Because
do you remember the old? A lot of people on here won't remember the old adverts on the telly, but the emphasis on British Telecom, or BT as he went, British Telecom, and then it went BT, just short, because like I'm cool. It was like, it's good to talk, mate.
Yeah,
it's good to talk. It genuinely is good to talk. Without these streams, I literally would be just walking up and down in the gym, just talking to myself. So it does it for me. I find it extremely therapeutic.
I'll be talking to the dog while he's snoring his head off in his bed there.
Here's one for you, Amy. Amy, you could have asked us. You could have come on and asked us.
Come on and ask us.
Yeah, I think he'll play at some point. Yeah, I do.
I think he'll get in. I think he'll get in the Euro squad. I think he's better than Harry Maguire. You know what I mean? I think he's probably. I'd probably say maybe outside of John Stones, he's probably England's best centre half at this present moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Maguire and Henderson. There is. I'll just say there is like little favourites, aren't they? So they can't do no wrong, can they? Even if Harry Maguire hadn't played since 2022, he'd still be in his squad, wouldn't he? It's bizarre, isn't it?
And Jordan Henderson, like they said the other day on Talk Sport, how is Ross Barkley, or how is Jordan Henderson got in the England team ahead of Ross Barkley? Beggars belief. It's one of them. But I remember years ago, right, when you used to get like Terry Venables and Graham Taylor and like Glenn Hoddle, and you could predict who they were going to pick for the team because it was the same old faces all the time. Do you know what I mean? And you think to yourself, Henderson went to Saudi Arabia, admitted that it was the biggest mistake of his life, and now he's playing for a shit Ajax team. But yet he still gets picked for the England teams. And you're like, he's about 92, isn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it's quite sad, really, isn't it? But is that is that a human characteristic where you've got your favourites and then they're always your favourites no matter what?
Well, Gareth Southgate made a statement when he first come in as manager, right, that he'd pick players on form. He's totally gone against that grain, hasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Would you have picked Barkley? Would you?
Yeah, 100%. On how he's playing for Luton.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
See,
Totally agree.
there's still nobody waiting to come on, Rob. We must be too
Yeah.
scary. You know what, right?
Well-
I honestly couldn't give a shit about England. I really couldn't, right?
No, I'm the
The
same.
only time,
Will you be watching the games?
not really. But
No,
the only
I won't be
time I'll
watching
watch England, if there's an Everton player playing, and obviously Pickford's in goal. But I won't really watch it because Pickford's in goal, because he's got, guaranteed to be in goal most times anyway. But
Oh,
if
we've got someone in the wings there, Wes.
he's not ready, he's not ready. But
Okay.
if Branthwaite plays, I'll watch it. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want
Yeah.
to see him getting injured for starters.
Yeah, well, send me a message, will you, if he's playing, and I'll watch it. Otherwise, I'll just be. I'll probably be having hair extensions.
Well, I think a transplant would be better for you, mate.
Yeah, just not interested.com.
I'll probably get a notification on my phone off Sky to say Branthwaite starts for England and this.
Okay.
To me,
Send me a message.
If you're England manager, right, and you're calling up these people like Branthwaite and whoever else is being called up for the England squad for the first time, you want to see them playing. No good see it on the bench. Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might go and see them in training, and you might look absolutely fantastic in training. And I'm sure, like, Michael Keane looks absolutely like a superstar in training. You know what I mean? But when he gets on the pitch, he forgets that he's a superstar and becomes absolutely dog shit.
What we should get and what we will get are completely different, because the business model. If Wes and I were flogging him, trust me, we'd flog him for the best price. But someone at Everton clearly really doesn't know what they're doing, in all fairness, and he'll probably go for less than what he should do in answer to that, Damien. But looking at his future, it should be six figures.
Yeah, but I don't think at this present moment in time that we need to sell him. I think because we've got one of the lowest net spends out of any club over the last 5 years or something. You know what I mean? So I don't think we need to sell him. But I think if we want to try and move forward as a club, we're going to have to cash in on these players, because at the moment we're stuck in a position where we can't buy players because we've got no money. So we've got to sell to try and move forward. But when you see the likes of Michael Keane, who's been there for 6 years or something, and he's been absolutely garbage for at least five of them years, and you think, why hasn't he been sold? You know what I mean?
Here's one for you then. So I'll be interested, just because we haven't spoke about it. Interesting to see what your views are of the possible fallout in Portugal at the weekend, that the press had a field day on.
No, they've made a big deal about it.
But they've got nothing to talk about, have they? So all of a sudden, it's going to be headline news, isn't it? I mean, that's how sad it is. It's actually it's not even a story, but it's headline news.
No,
but what I will say, Wes, is years ago, when I used to do what I used to do, what happened on tour stayed on tour, and it didn't matter what. You don't, loose lips sink ships, and that's the way it is. Whereas now everyone wants to flog a story, get someone in the shit. So what's your thoughts on what happened at the weekend?
I said it the other day. I think it was all sort of blown out of proportion, and it's a bit you know, it's like, hang on, Everton haven't got a game for 3 weeks, so we'll make up some negative press about them because they have, you know, we haven't got 777 to talk about negative press about them. We haven't got anything else negative. So somebody's jumped on it. This fella in the Daily Mail jumped all over it, threw it out there, and then now there's this big furore about it. But then you look at them on the training videos, and they're all laughing and joking and this, that, and the other. And I really hope that it is something and nothing. You know what I mean? Because we can't be doing with any more discontent within the squad, can we?
Do you rate Patterson? Is he one for the future? Is he one that's gonna come good? And he's there,
got a lot to learn. I think he's got a lot to learn. But he's a full international for Scotland, and Scotland's not a bad team anymore. You know what I mean? So he must be doing something right for Scotland.
Yeah.
So
are we thinking that our manager's not too fussed on him then?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like when you're playing Godfrey, and don't get me wrong, Godfrey done brilliant for a couple of games at right back. But when you've got a right back sitting on the bench, and two at some points we had Seamus and we had Patterson sitting on the bench, and you're still playing Godfrey out of position. Because let's be honest, he's not the best centre half anyway, Ben Godfrey, and he doesn't really offer a lot going forward. So you kind of think if you want to have a threat down them wings, you've got to either play Patterson or Coleman, haven't you? If you want that underlap and the overlap, then you've got to play, players in position.
But if someone doesn't like it, right, I'm sensing that he's so far down the pecking order now that our manager doesn't rate him. That's just my opinion on that one. And all the evidence points in that direction. There's a bit of a loving going on between Bob and Peter, which is great. Because you know what? He is knowledgeable. I'll tell you now, Peter could have a stream on here and he'd get the Guinness Book of Records involved because he'd run it for a couple of days. Wouldn't you, Peter? So, friends, we've got 7 minutes left before the two Aussies and Jan strike, and then it's going to be another, I'd say, a good 2 hours because those boys can't talk. You might have a little bit of poetry. Are you?
Jan's in the background. Happy? Are you coming on, Jan, or what?
He's probably getting ready for his, because he doesn't want to say on this stream what he's going to say on his next stream.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, mate. Yeah. Oh, hello, sexy. All right, gorgeous. How you doing?
Hiya. How you doing, mate?
So mate, you can't say too much now, can you? Because you've got to save it all for the start of your new stream. We've had ours, we've had the turbulence, and now we're just coming into land, and we can see the runway.
Yeah, but okay, in terms of the show and what you've talked about, yeah, but in terms of the turmoil that is supporting Everton Football Club, I still think we're stuck in the clouds, mate. Look, anything I say, you'll have either already touched on, people in the comments will have mentioned, and it would have been said on social media, in news, and everything. And so I think I'm just having a bit of a moan, and I'm having a listen and trying to find a silver lining. I've run out of my little bag of treats, but
there's no silver lining, not with Everton, Jan. It's like it's basically it's a pack of cards. It's shit or bust.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just going to come on and have a moan and listen to, hopefully see that they've got some lovely, insightful, wonderful, worldly, international, follow Everton, wonderful things to say. But how are you guys?
We
excited for the 2-week break?
Says it on the bottom of my name there, Jan.
Yeah.
Still,
we're all every day for the past couple of years, we're deflated. And you try and get yourself up on the edge of the cliff, and then all of a sudden the rock goes again, and you're back down the bottom.
The thing is, we've had this what's name. We've got this 3-week stress-free break, right?
Which
And
they've
then
stirred up into.
Yeah, and we all thought, yes, no worry for the next 3 weeks, and then we get it with Forest getting 4 points, which is like a slap in the face again, isn't it? It's like we didn't have to think about Everton for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden, Forest get 4 points, and it's like back on us again.
And the 777, mate, is imminent. That 7777777 is imminent. So just keep watching one.
Have you been watching Friends there, Rob?
I've never watched it in my life.
The thing is, Jan, right, is that you've got to sort of like, you've got to feel a bit for Luton, because they, the fact that they've only gone a point above Forest, when they probably thought it was going to be 3 points above Forest.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So Luton be going, well, that's not very fair, is it? Everton have got 6 points, or 10 initially, and Forest have only got 4.
Luton could be subjected to a new ruling by the Premier League, which is being penalised for employing Ross Barkley.
I'd have him at Everton.
It's kept him up, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So far.
It's kept him in the mix.
Just on his own. So the clock's ticking, mate. We've got almost 3 minutes left before.
There's a lot I can do there's a lot I can do in 3 minutes if you've got that amount of time for me, Rob.
Well, go on then. Do it before we go, because I'm due to. I'm going to hit the button in a minute. With
it's not broadcastable.
Oh right, yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah. So you just got to think it. You can't say it.
Becky's been dying for you to come on.
I appreciate that I have fans and supporters, and it is. You
even got an honourable mention the other day when you weren't even anywhere to be seen. Me and Robbie, I think, last Tuesday, and Becky put on there, "Hi, Yandalf," and a kiss, and you weren't even on the stream.
It's been lovely.
It's nice to be nice.
It's been lovely chatting with you, gentlemen, this evening.
So listen, you're going global now, mate, because like we've literally had thousands of hits tonight, and you're going to continue that now with Chad and Aussie Chris on a stream, which is going to go for 2 hours. So I'm just going to go and put my feet up, have a cup of tea, and I'm going to watch it. And Wes will be going to bed because he's working tomorrow.
Before I go, before the 2 minutes sort of elapses, I don't want to forget what I came on here for. Is there any questions that you'd like me to pose to them too when I go over?
Mate, I cannot believe how we've found 2 bars of gold with those 2 boys. Their knowledge and enthusiasm about Everton from thousands and thousands of miles away. It gives me joy, the fact that you don't just have to live in Liverpool to be an Evertonian. I just love listening to them. I think we've hit the jackpot.
It helps to not live in Liverpool and be an Evertonian. Otherwise, you're shackled to go into the bloody matches.
Yeah, I'd swap with Chad and Chris. I'd go and live where they live.
I was over in tropical Grimsby the other day.
Mate, are we going?
Mate, it's time for us to leave.
Yeah, listen, what fantastic. I think we're next Tuesday, Wes and I, we are down for another Tuesday Night Blues. Sorry, we brought it forward 24 hours this evening, but we had to, didn't we? With what's been going on. So thanks everyone for listening, and stay tuned to the Yandalf, Chris, and Chad show. The Chad show that starts as we go now. So have a lovely time. We'll talk to you in the next couple of days, maybe about 777, or if something else, maybe Everton might make a signing. You never know, or get shut to the manager. You never know. Love you all. Wait for it. Ba 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 ba.